The case I'm going to share with you today took place in Ibaraki Prefecture, Japan. Ibaraki is located in the northeastern part of the Kanto Plain, known for its thriving agriculture and fishing industries. It has the second largest cultivated area in Japan. In the northeastern part of Ibaraki Prefecture lies a city called Hitachi-Oda, one of the few regions in Japan that produces high-quality buckwheat. The famous autumn specialty of the prefecture is Hitachi Aki Soba noodles, which have a rich aroma and a subtly sweet flavor that leaves a lasting impression on diners. On Saturday, June 18, 2022, in a mountain forest in the northern part of Hitachi-Oda, the local police were investigating a case. During their search for clues, they discovered a girl hanging from a tree, completely unclothed. She was wearing handcuffs, and her face was disfigured. The police speculated that the girl had been thrown from the top of the mountain and had fallen onto the tree. The location where the girl was found was near a place known as Ikuta Falls. This is a rather remote area, surrounded by dense forest. Because this scenic spot isn't widely known, it doesn't attract many tourists. The autopsy revealed bruises on the girl's face and wrists, likely caused by the handcuffs. There were no obvious injuries on other parts of her body. She had a broken hyoid bone, a horseshoe-shaped bone located in the middle of the front of the neck between the chin and the thyroid cartilage. This injury is often associated with strangulation or hanging. The cause of death was determined to be asphyxiation, and the time of death was estimated to be about 2 to 3 weeks prior. The police quickly concluded that the location where the girl was found was not the original crime scene. She had been brought there. It was clear that this was not a voluntary act but a case of murder. The next step for the police was to identify the victim. 10 days before the police discovered the girl, on June 8, 2022, a couple in Tokyo reported to the police that their 23-year-old daughter had left home on June 5th and had not returned for 3 days. They said, "We haven't been able to contact her, so we hope the police can help us find her." After verification, it was confirmed that the missing person was indeed the girl found in the forest. The victim was identified as Arano Rina, born in 1999 in Tokyo. At the time, she was 23 years old and lived with her family in an apartment in Bunkyo Ward, Tokyo. Bunkyo Ward is located southwest of Hitachi-Oda City, about 100 kilometers from the crime scene. Rina grew up in a family of 4 that never had to worry about money. She had an older sister, and they had always lived peacefully and happily together. Her father worked for a pharmaceutical company specializing in developing treatments for Alzheimer's disease and schizophrenia, while her mother was a housewife with an elegant demeanor and a model-like figure. From a young age, Rina was a sweet and charming girl, the apple of her family's eye, known for her cheerful, lively, and energetic personality. She loved singing and dancing. In elementary school, Rina joined the school's dance club and achieved high rankings in school dance competitions. Perhaps influenced by her father, Rina dreamed of becoming a pharmacist, thinking it would be wonderful to dedicate herself to saving a cancer patient's life. After graduating from elementary school, Rina attended a combined junior-senior high school. She made new friends and was exposed to new experiences. Rina gradually became more interested in fashion, music, and shopping. She started paying attention to her appearance and wanted her skin to become fairer and smoother. She often went shopping with friends in the Harajuku area of Tokyo on weekends. However, in high school, Rina's grades began to decline. She lost focus on her studies and eventually did not pass her university entrance exams. Under her parents' guidance, Rina enrolled in a medical training school. But perhaps due to the challenging and tedious nature of her studies, she couldn't stay focused on her education. By then, Rina had forgotten her initial dream of becoming a pharmacist. She frequently skipped classes and even rebelled against her parents. At 19, despite her parents' objections, Rina decided to drop out of school. After a falling out with her family, she left their home in Bunkyo Ward and moved to Shinjuku Ward, renting a cheap apartment near Kabukicho and living alone. To ease her loneliness, she adopted a cat for companionship. Rina eventually found a job as a bartender in Kabukicho, a well-known entertainment district famous for its adult nightlife. However, after paying for rent and living expenses, she found that the money wasn't enough. Living on her own, far from her parents, her costs increased significantly. Expenses for things like clothing and cosmetics were no longer insignificant. Rena wanted to earn more money, and the growing temptations of material wealth only fueled her desire for more. As a result, she adopted a stage name and kept it hidden from her family, secretly working as a freelance model and actress without signing with a management agency. This meant she was self-employed, promoting herself, and managing her own schedules for photo shoots and video recordings. They might even participate in filming steamy videos, a very popular genre in Japan. Due to YouTube's policies, I can't specify the type of videos I'm referring to, but I'm sure you know what I mean. The compensation in this line of work can vary significantly, depending on the model's popularity and factors, such as whether or not her face is shown. High-earning models can make over 200,000 yen, approximately 1,350 USD, per shoot. Given Rena's initial level of popularity, she earned around 100,000 yen, about half that amount, per shoot. Rena also started her own fan club, which brought in over 1 million yen, about $6,700 USD per month. However, without the protection of a management agency, freelance models often have to interact directly with clients. If you participate in private filming, the filming partner is usually a man, and sometimes there are only 2 people in the room. During these shoots, the content could become more explicit than initially agreed upon, leading to potential disputes. Additionally, freelance models might have to travel to unfamiliar locations and may not even know the identity of their filming partner, which exposes them to various risks. Despite these dangers, Rena chose to pursue this career path. To prevent photographers from altering the content during shoots, Rena would discuss all the details with her partners before the appointment. She would only agree to meet once they committed to her terms. On one occasion, her family accidentally came across photos of her wearing revealing clothing, which made her parents very upset. But Rena lied, saying, "I'm just modeling fashion, so I have to wear those outfits." After some explaining, her parents believed her and let it go. By 2021, when Rena was 22 years old, she decided to move back home with her parents. She wanted to gradually change her lifestyle and work, aiming to get married, have children, and live a normal life like other women. She planned to slowly withdraw from the modeling industry. Unfortunately, Rena never got the chance to see that day. On June 8, 2022, Rena's parents reported her missing after she had been gone for 3 days. According to Rena's parents, on the morning of June 5th, Rena dressed up nicely and put on makeup, telling me, "I'm going out to meet a friend." She then left the house alone. By evening, when I had finished preparing dinner and my husband and eldest daughter had returned from work, Rena still hadn't come home. We started to worry, as we had called her several times, but her phone was always off. At first we thought her phone battery might have died, but when she didn't come home that night, we became more concerned. Over the next 2 days, her phone remained off, and even her close friends didn't know where she was. Fearing something might have happened to her, we decided to contact the police. Upon receiving the report, the police launched an investigation and began tracing Rena's movements on June 5th. That morning, Rena took a train to Ibaraki Prefecture, arriving at Mito Station around 10 a.m. Afterward, she exited through the north gate of Mito Station and got into a silver car driven by a man, heading to Hitachi-Ota City in northeastern Ibaraki Prefecture. According to Rena's online records, she had arranged to meet a man on the day she left home, and that man was a photographer she had previously scheduled to meet. Using surveillance footage from around Mito Station, the police identified the license plate of the silver car and confirmed that the vehicle belonged to the photographer Rena had chosen. His name was Hiroyuki Sanpei, 33 years old, and he was a resident of Minami Ashigara City in Kanagawa Prefecture. When the police questioned Sanpei, he stated, "On June 5th, I did meet Rena. I picked her up at Mito Station and then took her to a villa in Hitachi-Ota City. This villa is a property I purchased in 2016, but I only use it occasionally and rarely stay there." Rena and I did a photo shoot and video recording there for a short time. Since we had previously worked together at the same location in March, the shoot went smoothly and was completed quickly. After the session ended that afternoon, I dropped Rena off in front of an agricultural association building 920 meters southwest of my villa, and then drove away. I don't know where she went after that. Following this lead, investigators immediately went to Sanpei's villa. The villa is located at the foot of a mountain, surrounded by beautiful scenery and fresh air. It's a two-story building with a road in front, a hot spring center to the southwest, and a sports park to the east. According to neighbors around Sanpei's villa 6 years ago in 2016, Sanpei bought the property. He and his wife lived there for a while before they divorced. After that, Sanpei also moved out but would occasionally return every 2 months and sometimes stay for a few days. Over the past 2 to 3 years, he frequently brought different women to the villa. No one knew exactly what he was doing. Just a week ago, he arrived with a woman who appeared to be pretty and sweet, and that woman was none other than Rena. This time, Sanpei stayed in the villa for several days before leaving. The distance from the villa to Rena's home in Bunkyo, Tokyo, is approximately 130 kilometers. Sanpei had stated that on the day in question, he drove Rena to the Agricultural Association located 920 meters from the villa. With this information, the police used Rena's photo and questioned residents in the area as well as passers-by. One resident reported, "Around noon on June 5th, I saw Sanpei driving his silver car with a woman who looked very much like Rena. But that afternoon, no one saw him driving by again, nor did anyone see a woman resembling her." This suggested that everything Sanpei claimed was merely his own account, and no one could verify his story. The police then contacted Sanpei to request access to the villa for a search. Upon entering the villa, they found a long hallway with the bedroom on the left and the living room on the right. At the end of the hallway on the left was a staircase leading to the second floor and also down to the basement. While searching the first floor of the villa, sharp-eyed investigators discovered a mobile phone, later confirmed to belong to Rena, which had been dropped. When questioned about this, Sanpei explained, "I don't know anything about it. She might have forgotten to take her phone when she left that day." Since Sanpei was the primary suspect, the police confiscated his phone and took it to the station for investigation. They found a large number of videos that Sanpei had recorded, including footage of Rena being held captive in a dark and suffocating environment. The geolocation information embedded in the video confirmed that Rena was in Sanpei's villa at the time. With this critical evidence, on June 14th, 9 days after Rena's disappearance, the police went to an apartment building in Minami Ashigara City, Kanagawa Prefecture, and officially arrested Sanpei on suspicion of unlawful confinement. Armed with a search warrant, investigators returned to Sanpei's villa for a more detailed search. They collected several strands of hair from a futon on the first floor and discovered a damp mattress in the bathroom on the second floor, which appeared to have been recently cleaned. Rena's DNA was later found on the mattress. Additionally, they found a dirt-covered shovel and dozens of hair strands in the basement. Forensic analysis confirmed that the hair belonged to both Sanpei and Rena. Based on the clues gathered, the police speculated that Rena might have been detained by Sanpei, or possibly even murdered. They believed that the two had been filming in the basement of the villa, and after the shoot, Sanpei prevented Rena from leaving and kept her confined in the basement. Later, Sanpei removed Rena from the villa and hid her somewhere. After his arrest, Sanpei admitted, "I handcuffed Rena during the filming, but I only did so with her consent." He denied killing Rena and claimed, "I don't know her current whereabouts." The police reviewed Sanpei's driving records and determined that he had driven to a forest located 2 kilometers northeast of the villa. The site was at the end of a forest road. The investigation team began walking along this area to search for clues, which led to the discovery described at the beginning of the video. 4 days after Sanpei's arrest, on June 18, 2022, they found Rena in a low-lying area near Ikuta Falls, north of where Sanpei had parked his car. She was hanging from a tree with her hands cuffed, showing no signs of life. It is suspected that she was thrown down the mountain. The location where Rena was found was 136 kilometers from her home and 2.4 kilometers from Sanpei's villa. Around this area, the police discovered freshly dug holes, empty cans, and duct tape. Laboratory analysis revealed that the soil in the holes matched the soil on the shovel found in the basement of Sanpei's villa. Sanpei's DNA was extracted from the cans, and Rena's DNA was found on the duct tape. Additionally, the material and type of duct tape matched those found in Sanpei's villa. All the evidence pointed to Sanpei as the perpetrator. Further investigation into Sanpei's background uncovered a dark past. Sanpei was born in Koriyama City, Central Fukushima Prefecture, in September 1988. At the time of the crime, he was 33 years old and the eldest of 3 children in a well-off family. His father was an esteemed employee at a large company, and his mother had initially run a hair salon before becoming a full-time homemaker. When Sanpei was in kindergarten, his father was assigned to a car parts manufacturing plant in the United States as a technical instructor, and the whole family moved to Ohio. Ohio has a cold climate, and initially, they struggled to adjust and faced several health issues. However, over time, they settled in and lived in Ohio for 8 years. In 2001, when Sanpei was 13 years old, his father completed his work assignment in the U.S. and moved the family back to Japan. They built a new home in Koriyama City, Fukushima Prefecture. Upon returning to Japan, Sanpei enrolled in a local public middle school. Having lived in the U.S. for several years, he was fluent in English. Although Sanpei wasn't tall, he was an excellent basketball player and joined the school's basketball club. He was well liked and admired by his peers, earning the nickname the Prodigy in both academics and sports. However, his aggressive personality began to emerge during this time. According to a close friend, Sanpei had a volatile temper, often getting angry and throwing things around at home, which was a stark contrast to his behavior at school. In 2003, at 15, Sanpei graduated from middle school with outstanding academic achievements. He was admitted to Shoshi High School, where he joined the school's trampoline club. He later represented the school in national high school championships. After graduating from high school following his parents' arrangements, Sanpei studied abroad at the University of South Alabama in the U.S. After completing his degree, he returned to Japan and secured a job close to home at a company specializing in semiconductors and chemicals. Sanpei was involved in improving production line designs. He worked diligently and was promoted to department head at the company's headquarters in less than 2 years. During this time, Sanpei married a former high school classmate. After getting married in November 2016 at the age of 28, Sanpei took out a loan of 14 million yen, about $94,000 at current rates, to purchase a villa in Hitachi-Oda City, located in northeastern Ibaraki Prefecture. This villa later became the place where he would detain and murder Rina. A month after purchasing the villa, on December 2, 2016, Sanpei was arrested on suspicion of assaulting a police officer. Over the next 2 months, he continued to cause trouble and was repeatedly detained. In January 2017, Sanpei sexually assaulted a woman on the streets of Hitachi-Oda City. He was subsequently arrested by the police on suspicion of assault, causing injury and indecent behavior. On January 25, 2017, he was again arrested for sexually assaulting another woman. Despite facing multiple charges, Sanpei managed to avoid prosecution by paying substantial compensation and receiving assistance from his parents. Through settlements, he escaped jail time, which paved the way for his future serious criminal activities. After repeatedly causing trouble without showing remorse, his wife filed for divorce. Following the divorce, they lost contact with each other. Sanpei moved out of the house in Hitachi-Oda City, Ibaraki Prefecture, and relocated to Minami Ashigara City in western Kanagawa Prefecture, about 200 kilometers away. He then worked for a local film company, but after some time, he left the job. From then on, he became addicted to social media interactions, constantly meeting, filming, and taking photos with actresses and models to satisfy his lustful desires. 4 months before the incident occurred, in mid-February 2022, 33-year-old Sanpei connected with 23-year-old Rina on Twitter. The connection was made when Sanpei posted an invitation for a photo shoot on Twitter, with shooting dates available from February 23 to February 27, or from March 2 to March 6. The location was in Hitachi-Oda City, Ibaraki Prefecture, offering a fee of 60,000 yen, approximately $403 USD, for a 3-hour session. Meanwhile, Rina had received an offer from a magazine in Tokyo's Bunkyo ward, which also required a 2.5-hour train ride to Ibaraki Prefecture for a similar shoot. However, the magazine offered a fee of no less than 100,000 yen. In contrast, Sanpei's offer was only 60,000 yen. Therefore, Rina initially declined Sanpei's invitation. Nevertheless, he persisted and continued to negotiate with Rina, eventually reaching an agreement for a fee of 120,000 yen, approximately $806 USD. In early March, they completed their first transaction and maintained contact thereafter. On the day of the incident, June 5th, it was their second transaction. Just like the previous time, Rina took the train to Hitachiota City in Ibaraki Prefecture and then went to Sanpei's villa. That day, Sanpei led Rina down to the basement of the villa, where he had already set up filming equipment and props. The basement was bare, with no furniture except for a mattress. Sanpei enjoys filming this genre and has prepared various props like handcuffs, ropes, and whips. Around 11 a.m. during the filming session, Sanpei handcuffed Rina and recorded the entire sensitive scene using his phone. During the shoot, Sanpei lost control of himself. He wrapped his hands around Rina's neck and strangled her. After committing the crime, Sanpei was terrified, so he disfigured Rina's face to make identification difficult, and then disposed of her body in a forested mountain area 2.4 kilometers from the villa. When he was first arrested, Sanpei only admitted to handcuffing the victim and denied any involvement in the murder. It wasn't until June 18, 2022, when Rina's body was found based on data retrieved from his car's GPS, that he confessed to all of his crimes. A former classmate of Sanpei stated, Sanpei was a student who had returned from studying in the US. His family was well off. Because of his father's job, he came back to Japan with his family and completed his middle and high school education in Koriyama City, Fukushima Prefecture. To those around him, he appeared to be a well-behaved child who never caused trouble. But everything changed significantly as he grew older. It's unclear whether this had anything to do with his experience studying abroad, but Sanpei began frequently harassing women. Despite being arrested and punished by the police, he showed no remorse. A resident living near Sanpei's villa shared, after he and his wife moved in, Sanpei would often greet the neighbors with a smile. I never saw him in a bad mood. He seemed like a very simple, kind, and easygoing person, someone who left a good impression on others. According to a neighbor who knew Sanpei, he began to behave unusually during middle school, often getting angry with his parents and throwing things around late at night. Sanpei's grandfather expressed his sorrow, saying, Sanpei's father was always busy with work and never paid attention to his son's studies or daily life. Perhaps the lack of fatherly love during his upbringing contributed to his troubled personality. In the end, he committed an unforgivable crime. At the time this case was reported, the trial had not yet taken place. However, it's certain that Sanpei will face the full force of the law. Japan is the most renowned country for this particular film industry. The film industry in which Rina participated in Japan is considered the largest in the world, accounting for 20% of the global industry's total revenue and generating billions of dollars in profit for the country each year. For a long time, this unique genre has been seen as one of Japan's defining features. While prostitution is illegal in Japan, this film industry is legalized. In Japan's showbiz world, Rina was a freelance model and actress and a star admired by men. She often posed for daring photo shoots, filmed, and charged 100,000 yen per shoot. Additionally, Rina took on bold roles that involved a lot of explicit content. According to See the People, she earned around $1,000 for a single photo on a paid platform. Alongside its growth, the darker side and risks of this industry are also significant, as illustrated by Rina's case. Another name that cannot be overlooked in this film industry is actress Maria Ozawa. Maria Ozawa was once a top student at an international school in Hokkaido, and was very proficient in English. Because of this, when she dropped out of school to pursue a career in this particular film industry, her parents threatened to disown her if she didn't stop and choose a different path. Unable to accept their daughter's involvement in a job they considered disgraceful, Ozawa's parents severed all ties with her and firmly refused the money she sent home. She was even banned from visiting them. Her parents went so far as to tell the neighbors that their daughter had died in a car accident. Despite the hidden pitfalls and risks associated with this lucrative industry, many Japanese women still choose to pursue this challenging career path. Everyone makes choices that seem right for them at a given time, and eventually, time may help them answer the lingering questions in their hearts. But sometimes, it might be too late to turn back. This brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, and take care.